I believe they need to be actively involved in the monitoring of the policies and the performance of the superintendent.
Guess what? I'm going to ask you to speak up.
You will? All right.
Thank you.
I believe the school board should be actively involved in monitoring the progress and the policies that the superintendent puts in place for the school district. I don't think the role of the board necessarily is just to put something broad out there that leaves too much to chance, leaves too much to failure, leaves too much in terms of shortcomings if we're not monitoring it as a board. My vision of the board is we are the final say-so. We are the people in charge of the school district. So we put our policies or our belief, our vision into the hands of the superintendent in order for him or her to implement those policies and to make the school system perform. But we don't just walk away and hope for the best. We have to be actively engaged with the superintendent, with the district, to make sure our plans, our policies are being implemented correctly.
And if you're involved in monitoring the policies, then how do you keep from micromanaging or being in a situation where, micromanaging?
Well, I think it's a balance. You can't monitor every single issue or every single policy that would necessarily be in place for CMS, but some of the main items, testing, performance measures, personnel issues, I do think the board needs to be involved in those types of issues, pay for performance. So I think there's key areas that we do have to make sure we have an ear toward the policies that we're actively engaged with. But we can't be involved in everything, that's for sure, but we have to pick and choose where the most important ones and make sure we're actively involved.
You'll be doing a superintendent search. If you could have anybody in the country, who or what type of person would you choose?
Well, first of all, I would love to have someone local to some degree. Spend time indoctrinating them into what Charlotte is, the history of Charlotte. They sort of understand some of the issues that the city and the county has faced over the past few years. So someone local, I think, would be an ideal candidate. What type of person? A person that's charismatic, a person that's honest, a person that is inspiring, a person that is always seeking to raise the bar, a person that's looking to collaborate with the community, collaborate with others throughout the school system, someone that has strong leadership skills, not necessarily an educational background, but a proven track record in terms of management style and leadership success, someone that's innovative, someone that has their academic credentials. I do believe that is important for a superintendent, and we just need someone that leads by example, I believe, someone that's flexible also.
When you talk about academic credentials, would that include some type of education credentials or experience or not?
I would say at the minimum a master's degree. As far as a superintendent, perhaps a PhD, but I think at the least it should be a master's degree.
In any specific thing or just a master's degree?
A master's degree. Of the business would certainly help. It depends on what their work experience is also. I think if someone has not been in education, to have a master's degree in the education arena or the business arena, I think will be two key degrees. Depending on their work experience, it may be liberal arts or something else. They're not necessarily honed in on education, but if you can show their track record that they've managed an organization, some type of institution where there are, I guess, measurable goals in terms of their performance and their achievement, then that would suffice as opposed to a specific area of concentration for a master's.
Darrin, let me take that a little bit further, because you could be describing Jim Baker or a minister. Is that all right for him to come in here and be superintendent?
Yes and no. Yes and no is I do believe in separation of church and state. So someone that is a minister, absolutely, they would be a qualified individual that could come in and be an inspiring leader, an open, honest person, charismatic. They would have the credentials or the traits that we would look for in a superintendent. The religious side of it, that stops at the door, but their professional side, I think that will make them qualified.
You seem to be, the reason I asked the question, you seem to be leaning away from an education background, and you said not necessary a background in ed. Why would you want to put a person in charge of the educational system who has no background in education?
Why? I think we need someone that has strong leadership skills, someone that understands and someone that is able to operate a business. I think that's one of the big issues. Someone that understands what education is, reform, how children learn, the politics of education. So I think it's pretty encompassing as far as the skill set that you're looking for an individual. Now, to hone in on someone that has worked in education only and to kind of narrow a search to someone from that field, I think we would be doing our school district a disservice. There are a lot of people in education that would not be great superintendent material or great candidates to be a superintendent. They may be scholarly, they may be a super performer and overachiever in the classroom, but they don't have the business savvy to run a school system as large as CMS.